virtuous woman, virtuous woman.
Hello friends, welcome to Virtuous Women TV show. Once again, thank you for joining us. I want to appreciate you for always supporting us, giving us that positive feedback. Thank you so much. This show is aired on Fridays from 7 p.m. So be sure to join us, because there we learn, we get inspired, we get encouraged, we get informed. And today I'm so happy, so grateful. I'm joined by a good friend of mine. She has a lot to teach us. So get your pen, get your paper to learn. She's going to introduce herself, tell us who she is, what she does, what lesson she has learned in her life. She's going to tell us all that. Welcome here. I am your host, Esther Kengori. Karibu, my friend.
Thank you so much. My name is Anastasia Mbula. Anastasia Mbula is a founder of Mother's Real Smile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. You hear, Mother's
Real Smile.
Real Smile.
We need a real smile to mothers. No, most of mothers, they have smile, yes. But most of the time we do fake the smile. We don't have the real one. And that's why we are here to tell people to impress the real smile. And we are going to say why are mothers having a fake smile.
Very good.
Yeah.
You have had it. So as we get deeper into it, tell us maybe why you decided to have Mother's Real Smile Foundation, or what guided you to that.
Okay, first of all, by starting, Mother's Real Smile, it's an organization that advocates for postpartum depression. Postpartum depression, I know you're a psychologist, understand what it is. Postpartum depression is a depression that comes after birth, after a woman has given birth, and not necessarily mean after giving birth. Sometimes, some women, they can carry a pregnancy and then miscarriage or something happens after birth, you know, that lady can get postpartum depression. So it doesn't matter what the circumstance, but in Mother's Real Smile, we advocate for postpartum depression. Reason being, postpartum depression, it's a depression that is really affecting many women in our country. Not only our country, but all over. And it still goes unspoken about or unknowingly. I myself, I experienced postpartum depression.
Very good. That is why I wanted you to start that. Why the passion of it? Have you experienced it? Have someone close to you gone through it? But I'm grateful that you have confirmed you have gone through it. And as you have heard, it's not only when you give birth. I think I would say it is when you conceive. Yeah. To the term, or even prematurely to the term.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, anytime. Yeah. So I personally went through PPD, and I can tell you it's not a good place to be. If you can get any help, please do. Because first of all, when you're going through PPD, you don't understand what's wrong with yourself. Sometimes you feel like you don't want your baby. Like for me, let's talk about what happened to me. My firstborn, I experienced postpartum depression. I don't know the reason. It's because I was a young girl back then when I gave birth. And now frustration from my mom, my parents, let's say that. Then you're like, umeleta mimba hapa, you know, those kind of things. Each and every day you're carrying the pregnancy, but each and every day unaambiwa neno ya kufanya, you feel like
so you're feeling traumatized.
Each and my cue, I'm pregnant. So they are installing some things in me. The community itself, it sees you like, oh, this is bad. How could you?
Judgment.
The judgment around. So it reached a day of giving birth and fear. I just felt fear.
Fear of the process, or fear of the newborn now?
For me, fear of unknown. Because first of all, I don't know where I'm going to take this kid. Yes, I'm going back to my parents' home. That's okay. I know I'll be taken good care of. But now, remember, there is someone who used to be trusted. So I just felt overwhelmed. So I had two decisions. Should I leave this baby here in the hospital? Should I go home with this baby? Should I give this baby for adoption? And little did I know that's where I started getting PPD. At first, I think it was anxiety of, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Maybe someone who is watching us, they don't understand what is PPD. maybe you can try to tell them what is PPD, because I'm sure you have learned about it.
Yeah, sure.
Now you can maybe describe what is postpartum depression to them. Explain to them, and also okay, first explain and then I go to the next question.
Okay, PPD, as I said, is that depression that comes after birth. There is postpartum depression, there is baby blues. Most of people go through baby blues and they don't go to the step of PPD, postpartum depression. PPD is short form of postpartum depression. So this comes sometimes you start feeling some feelings of like unworthy. Hormonal change also can cause postpartum depression. So there is a lot of things that causes PPD. Yeah, a lot of feelings, that is feeling unworthy, feeling like suicidal feelings, feel like you. Sometimes I have this lady who told me she went through PPD and she even forgot her number.
Wow, the phone number?
Yeah.
Wow.
And even how to drive, and she's a lady who has been driving for almost 10 years.
Wow.
She, I didn't remember how to drive. So I can say PPD is born.
It's that, yeah? All right. So if someone has just given birth, they got pregnant, they miscarried.
Yeah.
How would I say as a mom, a new mom, that now I could be experiencing this PPD? What are the signs and the symptoms?
Oh, the signs of the symptoms. First of all, as I said also, sometimes you can go through baby blues and not PPD. First, I think a grieving mom will go through so many reactions.
Yeah, loss and grief.
Yeah,
there are so many.
Yeah, so she will go a lot. But now, if these feelings exist more than 14 days,
oh, there's a duration.
Yeah, there is a duration. If they exist more than 14 days, this mom now should go for counseling attention, because she might be going through PPD. That is, if she is feeling suicidal, if she is crying when she's alone, like all the time, just find yourself crying and you don't know why you're crying. Yeah, I have this case, and this is a true story. I have this case of a lady from a certain place I would mention. She was, for her, her baby died when 2 days after. And sometimes she could go to the shop without even wearing top.
Like half naked?
Yeah, half naked.
Wow.
And then she's like, when people ask, are you okay? What's wrong with me? And then,
she doesn't even notice that she's half naked.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So for her it was terrible, because now you can imagine you are here at the shop and then people are just taking lessons.
Yeah, I think it is emotional roller coaster, because she is going through the loss.
Yeah.
And maybe the postpartum depression also kicks in.
Yeah.
So she's another thing I would like to know from you, Anastasia. If you go through that, what now?
Okay, can I speak what now for me, what I did?
Yeah, it is all about what you have experienced, so that our viewers can relate at a personal level.
So for me, when I noticed, like, I did not notice at first of all, I did not know that I'm going through PPD. So the symptoms were too loud. Like for me, most of the time I could feel like committed suicide, and also killing my baby. Sometimes I could find myself beating that baby, and maybe she's...
And how old is this baby that you are beating?
1 week old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is that? Okay, all right.
Yeah, I just feel some anchor, and I feel like, wewe ndo unaleta hizi mashida zote. So and after that I realized, oh my God, what am I doing? So a lot of things were going through anchor. I can just be okay in 1 minute, then in the next minute I'm like, I don't want to hear anything from you. I start shouting, I start overreacting. But what was strong in me was that committing suicide most of the time, and crying. All the time I just find myself crying. So all that time I used to hide, because who are you going to tell you are going through this? No kona mtoto. Everyone expects you to be happy. So when people visit me, I am that happy, that fake smile that I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay. When they leave that, I feel like the world is against me.
Okay.
Yeah, so the feelings something that...
Did you have anybody to, like, a support system?
Okay,
Did you have anyone to talk to?
Not really much.
How did you come out of it?
So when the symptoms persisted, I went to this friend of mine. He's a psychologist. I went and then talked to him. I told him, I'm going through this and this and this. And then he was like, oh my, you know, he's a friend now. Like, so he was like, oh my, I think you have postpartum depression. And I'm like, what's that? He was like, let me take a glass of water and then I'm coming. So when he went out, I also went out. I'm like, postpartum depression. What do you mean I'm cheesy or something? Because now it started like, thing. Oh, you have something in your mind, it's called postpartum depression. So like, I'm not mad, I'm okay. When unataka kumaanisha utanipeleka madhara sasa, you know? Yeah, and I became more scared after hearing that. So I went back, I started searching, what is this, PPD, and then through clips on video, I realized it's something that most of women go through unknowingly, and it's something that can really be cured. Then I went back to that psychologist, and it's when I started the antidepressant. From there I started antidepressant, and then I started the counseling.
Wow. So even if you're going through that, because someone might say, okay, I'm going through this, what now? What medicine? You know, we love medicine. You know, we love quick fix. What now? So, as Anastasia said it, you have to, when you realize, first is to realize that you have the system, the symptoms. There is that sign that you could be having PPD. The moment you do that, look for a psychologist, go see them. Your healthcare provider can guide you and tell you what to do when you're going through that period of therapy. Most of the time, you talk about what you're going through, what you're feeling, and then the emotion become less what? They become lighter. Let me use that word lighter. They become lighter. They become lighter. And then after you have gone through that time, this is your first baby.
That's
and you're a mom of two. Did it come back the second time?
Now what happened, now I went through all those and I was okay, and everything seems to be okay. And then next one, now I got married and I got a kid now. And now when I was pregnant, I used to have fear. The feeling of feeling like killing this baby, might it come again? I think that fear is what made me to go PPD the second time. Right? So the moment I received that baby, I have a very supportive husband. So when I received this baby, I just told him, baby. I was so scared. I was so scared in a way that I don't want to do something to this. The way I used to beat this baby,
you don't want to do it.
I don't want it to do it again. You know, most of the time in my firstborn, I could go even a day without breastfeeding him. And then he's there, he's angry, you know.
He's crying, he's angry.
He's crying, So I was so scared for the second one. Little did I know, the more I'm getting scared, first, that's where I knew about baby blues. Now what I was scared of, it was kind of baby blues. So I was just scared, anxiety. Little did I know, the kind of anxiety that I'm developing, it's now causing again. They're triggering now the PPD again. And now after like 1 month and something, I found myself trying to kill this other
and repeating the cycle. Wow.
And then also, now this was too much because now I didn't want to see my husband. All the time I'm shouting on him. When he tried to ask me why you did this to the baby, it becomes like a war. In one way, it's like I was breaking my arm without knowing. Because sometimes they would say, kwa hiyo nyumba, kelele yenye iko. Tangu huyo mama ajifungue, I don't understand that. And something that is common, I know. So what I always say is this, as a father, don't judge your wife. Just try to understand if she might be going through something. But because for me, I do say, if my husband could not understand me, tungekuwa tusha break up kitambo sana. Because I used to shout. I used to be, even just a small thing.
And now the second time that now you are going through the PPD, at least you have some knowledge. of what it is.
Yeah, what it is.
And again, you have some coping skills you have learned from the previous sessions. How was it? Was it faster to get out of it? Did you take longer?
Now the funny thing is, I used to fight the things that I know about PPD.
Used to fight them?
Yeah, fight them in a way like, no, I'm not going through PPD. I know this thing, you know, like you know, and you are trying, you have it. And
you have the knowledge, but you're not acting.
You are
like
not
you
acting.
Do.
Yeah, so I used to say, every time I'm like, I need to do this. No, I'm not going through PPD again. So that fight was too loud. And then now, until it reached a day, I felt like it was too much for my husband. And then now I told him, this and this happened, and then I can see the same repeating itself. So this might be PPD. I'm like, it's okay, don't worry. Let's go see a psychologist. You can still get help. I went back to our psychologist.
Wow.
Yeah.
And maybe someone would be saying, you see, how do you differentiate the baby blues and now the postpartum depression? Because someone might be feeling the same emotions, they don't know which is what. How do you differentiate them? And again, as you answer that, when should you go now to see?
Yeah, to see for the help.
To seek the help.
Okay, for baby blues, as I said, it's almost the same with now PPD itself. Just that for baby blues, it lasts for 14 days. When it goes beyond 14 days. Now, like let's say 3 weeks and above, now I think you should go to see a psychologist to see what's wrong with you. Now for baby blues, it's just a normal anxiety. Every mom will go anxiety of like, is my baby breathing? Is my baby okay? Every mom will feel like, am I ready to take care of this baby? Am I the right parent to this baby? Yeah, those kind of questions.
Those are now the baby blues.
The normal one. Sometimes you might feel like hurting yourself, but now when it persists 14 days after,
when the emotion now become intense.
Now it's good you go seek for professional help.
And now, since we are Kenyan, we are African, we know how to home remedies for any kind of disease. Do you have like something you can do at home before even you go to the psychologist, maybe first aid, when you notice now this is becoming too much? What are the coping skills that you can tell someone if it gets to this point and you're feeling this way? You can try to do this, you can try to do that. What can you tell our viewers?
Okay, for that, what I always say, I have a friend of mine who does those things of now natural things. She will always tell you, eat well. Try to eat well, try to balance what you are eating. Sometimes they might trigger your hormones. So when you eat well, maybe it might neutralize your hormones. So eat well. When you feel like the anxiety, ask for help. Don't overburden yourself. When you feel this is too much, like today I'm feeling like I don't want to see this baby, please ask your partner, can you help me this baby today? Have a walk or even sleep. Do something extra just to try to take a day off from that situation that is making you not feel comfortable. Maybe that one can help you.
Wow. Now, you have gone through the first and the second. What birth real mother smile?
Now watch mother's real smile. It's days. I say when people came to visit me, I could smile. Akatotonika smart, you know, akatotonika smart. But inside me, I'm beating this baby, so I have some guilty. So I will just smile. Nikazuri, you get the feeling. But now, after Metoka, I could smile.
Wow.
So I felt like when you're going through PPD, you don't have the real smile.
Okay.
You have to fake it to show people that you're okay. Something that really happens a lot. I usually visit hospitals, and I can tell you when I start talking about mother's real smile, and then I ask women, do you really have the real smile? They will say no.
Yeah. Okay, childbirth comes with a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
At times, the same way you're saying fear of unknown. Maybe it is your first child. there's so much what comes with childbirth. So the smell might not be so real.
Yeah, so really, yeah.
Yeah, it might not be so real.
Yeah.
Although you're happy that you have the child is there and maybe she's healthy or he's healthy, but you don't have the real one.
Yeah.
Now, what are the challenges have you found with people who have gone through? I know in your organization you have met people who have gone through it. What are the challenges? What are the challenges people are experiencing out there? And when do they come to know that they have them? Do they come to know themselves, or must someone else point it?
Actually, funny enough about that, most of people up today, they don't know what is postpartum depression.
Yes, yes.
I go to many places and mention it, and then like, yoni nini? Yeah, you have to tell them what it is. So most of people, they don't know. Now, in most cases for moms that we have helped, wengi wao tuliwapata if they don't know. Wajui, they have PPD. So when we do the education, we usually do the education about PPD, educate them what is PPD. They're like, this is what I'm going through. And then now we refer them to the proper psychologist to help them if they need medical. So I feel the really challenge out there, it's lack of information.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they
people,
don't know.
yeah, people doesn't have information. And also people are like, when you're mama, you're supposed to be strong.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, it's forcing
the
you
society expectations.
Yeah, so they're forcing you to be strong, even if you're not strong.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm strong, but now the feeling of PPD, maybe feeling of suicidal. I like using that because I live
that is what you used to feel.
Yeah, feeling of suicidal is too strong in me. But now you are telling me women need to be strong. Yes, but you don't want to hear me out. You have to hear me out first, so that you tell me women need to be strong. But now in our community, women need to be strong without even hearing them. And that's why, Esther, you find unapata mama has committed suicide together with her kids.
With the kid,
yeah, we are like, oh, mama kumbe hakuwa mzuri. Yeah, she was not okay. Yeah,
she wasn't okay mentally.
Yeah,
and emotionally.
And emotionally. So I think it's high time we start speaking about PPD. And as women, when we feel like we might be going through something after birth or any other time, it's good we speak up about it, because we are killing ourselves without knowing.
Very good.
And the fear of not talking is making us die more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to speak up.
Okay, that is for the women who have given birth or who have conceived. Now, for the caregivers, the partners, the family members, what would you tell them? Actually,
to fathers and husbands, I always say this, support your women, your wife, I mean, support your wife. If she has given birth, it's not an easy thing. Don't say like it's just conceiving and that's all. It's not easy. Yeah, she needs care. She needs that love. Yeah, the baby needs your care. The baby needs your love, but your wife, she needs that more than that baby. Try to be supportive. Try to do everything you can do in order to support that woman, that lady. And if you see something that is not making sense in her, because many always say, squeezy simwelewi, make sense squeezy. If you see something that is not making sense in your woman, try to seek for professional help. You know, a husband can seek professional help for our wife. You can just go and ask a psychologist, my wife is going through this and this. What might it be? And then through that will be helping your wife. Yeah.
And what you can tell, maybe at times I have seen women going through PPD. I've seen them. Personally, I've seen them, and most of them, before they realized it was a PPD, they used to take something sedatives, just to make them calm down, sleep, you know, because they feel like they are depressed. They feel like they are not here. The emotions are all over the place.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you can say, the advantage of seeing a professional psychologist rather than home treating?
Home treating,
yes.
Actually, I'm a very one support of seeking professional help, because for me it has helped me a lot. Reason being, depression is something very serious.
Yes.
And it's not advisable you treat it on your own. Seek for someone who has more knowledge. And we do say that atikulipe yo pesa yote kuona psychologist, please do it for your own care. If you can pay for your malaria or something, or school fee, maybe you can pay school fee for your kids and something else, you can do all those. Why not your own well-being is very important than anything else. If you don't care about yourself, even the other things that you are doing, they don't care, because it's all matters. It's all about you. Yes, sometimes we can do home treatment. It can heal me. But has it really healed me for real, or I've just assumed? What if that things comes again?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's
you
good
need
to be sure.
You need to understand, you need to have the end mechanism how to go about it, even when it come back or when it come again after another child.
Yeah.
Now, Anastasia, my question would be, that is for women who have given birth. Do you think people who have not given birth, young ladies, young girls, do they need to understand, do they need to be taught about postpartum depression?
Yeah, actually I do that. I do that most because of water. It's better prevention than cure.
Very true.
Yeah, so I always talk to them about PPD. I always tell them the risk and how they can prevent. For example, the young girls don't get pregnant when you are not prepared. It might trigger, like for me, my firstborn, what happened. So I always advocate for being ready. At least when you have a husband or someone who is next to you, who is not going to rusha maneno, you understand? At least that person will support you. Even if it will be tough, you have someone, as I do. But giving birth without an husband or something, then it's terrible. So I do.
You do.
There is a very important. It's very important to talk about PPD to these single or young ladies.
So now someone might say, I have gone through postpartum depression the first time, and now I'm afraid it might come for the second time, like they are telling us that it came back. Now I'm not sure whether you are concerned it might come the next time I want to get another baby. So for you to prevent, do you have like a prevention? Or how do you prepare yourself so that it doesn't come back?
Now for that, I will not advise. That's why I'm advising, see a psychologist. A psychologist will help you so much to understand. You know, I might say it might do this, it might not come back. And even for me, I'm not sure if it will come back or not. Because you know, postpartum depression is not all about surrounding or everything. Sometimes it's hormonal change. Hormonal change can make you have postpartum depression. So yeah, that one, maybe your psychologist will advise more.
Now the question has come back to me.
Yeah.
Back to the sender. All right.
Thank you.
So what I would say that is that prevention is there. What you do, the reason as to why I was asking about young girls is because you're preparing them.
Yeah.
It's kind of preventing it happening. So educating yourself about it, knowing about it. And one cause, amongst it is not so clear what causes PPD.
Yeah, sure.
But there are some few cases which can cause PPD. Yeah, we call them like the traumas. Maybe you have experienced traumas.
Yeah.
That is one. Also abuse, whether sexual abuse,
Sure.
or physical abuse when you're young. So one of the prevention, heal them. Make sure you visit psychology. That is why we are here, to heal those things. And also, just the same way you hear people are preparing to get pregnant. Yeah. They are going to see a guy now because they are preparing to get pregnant. Yeah. Sometimes people do not know that seeing a psychologist is also a prevention. Is also just a care. Just the same way you prepare, also see a psychologist so that you can also be prepared mentally to get pregnant.
Actually, on that point, I have a pastor friend of mine, and he usually do the let's say preparation of people if they want to get married. He usually do that preparation that talk. So I was talking to him and he was like, I think there is also a need of psychology when it comes now we are preparing them about getting married. They also need to be prepared. Baby's coming, how are you going to handle it? Because there are so many cases of people they wed, have very nice wedding, and after they get their first baby, they divorce. What's the reason?
At times, I always say that these divorces, at times they are triggered by very small things. If people just have the knowledge, the information, and the communication, you know, the effective communication. I'm going through this. Can you understand me? Whatever I'm going through, I'm going through this roller coaster of emotions. Thoughts are running. If they understand that, they can take care of each other, and some of this divorce can be prevented. So to answer the question, how to prevent, those are some of the things get informed, like what we are doing right now. We are informing you. Maybe you have gone through it. Maybe you had not even heard about it initially, but now you know. You know that you can just educate yourself on what it is, how it comes, the symptoms, and how you can even prevent it.
Yes.
So when you educate yourself, and also make a psychologist your friend.
Yeah,
just the same way you visit a dentist, make sure to visit a psychologist when you see these signs are too much. And when you feel that something is not right, actually it is not right.
Yeah, it is not.
It is not. So visit a psychologist.
Yeah.
So Anastasia,
yes,
you can tell us where we can find you, what you do, and people can look for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Now you can look to that camera and answer that.
Okay, so for us, Mothers Will Smile, we mostly do our advocacy, that is educating people about PPD at hospitals, most maternity ward, for those who have already given birth, and also those who are pregnant. It's very important to know what is awaiting for you, to just be aware. As she has said, prepare yourself. So it's very important that you prepare yourself when you're pregnant. You can reach us on our social media handles, that is Mothers Will Smile, everywhere Mothers Will Smile, and then we are located at Mukuru kwa Jenga.
Very good, very good. Now you have heard where you can find her. There's one last question I would ask you, Anastasia. How common is PPD? From where you have gone, people you have met, how common is it?
Actually, the search says 15% of women get PPD, but as for me, me Anastasia, I can say it's up to 80%. Yeah, because I've seen so many women struggling with PPD. Yeah, a lot of them. But because now it's something that it's just lightly taken, people are not putting, like the way people are talking about HIV and another thing, people are not talking about PPD in that way. When people start talking about PPD in the way they are talking about HIV, is when you realize it's almost 80% of people are suffering from PPD. So people are suffering from PPD, Esther.
Very, very true, very true.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that you have informed them.
Yeah.
So kindly, we are so grateful for your support as you continue to work with us. You have heard it, you have learned, and I'm also requesting you to give us feedback, what you'd like us to talk more about, who you'd like us to invite here, so that we can learn together. From now, we say bye-bye.
I'm a virtuous woman.